What is going on, everyone? Well, I think this will be a podcast episode. Like, here where I've just been doing a lot of off-the-cuff shit. I have plans, but it's not super planned. Most of it's just been off the cuff lately. That's why I haven't been doing the proper intro for the podcast, because I don't know. I don't consider it a podcast unless it reaches the 30-minute mark. So, did you all survive the 13th? Well, I did, and I could definitely tell it was a 13th. It was definitely, yesterday was an unlucky day. So, originally I was planning to go to 250th anniversary of Harrodsburg, which would have been cool. They had like booths set up. They were doing historical tours. They had like a little historical exhibit at the library. Live music. I don't know. The missus, she's starting her monthly cycle, and she was just moody and like, I don't want to get home and be chilling out and then get tired, and I don't think you understand how tired I've been getting driving an hour to and from work. And I'm like, yeah, I do, man. I've been doing it since we lived in Harrodsburg. Now I live right like 10 minutes up the road, you know. I said, but I had to do it for 4 years straight. The shit fucking sucks, man. So I get it. So I told her, I was like, well, look, like, we don't have to do anything. If you are tired and cranky and you're starting your period, like, just go to work tomorrow, come home, we'll just fucking chill at the house. So I get to work that night for the shift. This is the 12th. We're missing like 3 fucking people. One of them is on vacation. And then 2 of them called out. So I just went up to my boss. I'm like, look, I had plans for tomorrow. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Do you want me to come in and work? And he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go for it, dude. So I came in yesterday, the 13th, to work, which, come to find out, by the end of the shift on the 12th, like, we didn't even really need me to come in the next day, but I had already volunteered. So I don't know if you've ever been in that situation, but it fucking blows, because it's like, I really didn't want to go to work, but, So I ended up working anyways. But the 13th, man, I woke up, and my wife's like, hey, it's a good thing we're not going to this fair. We'll just call it a fair. It's a good thing we're not going to this fair today. I'm like, why? And she's like, I locked my keys in the car. I'm like, fuck me, dude. I said, well, it's a good thing I'm going into work to pay for this shit, because it's going to be pricey, I'm sure. So I locked my keys in the car before, several years ago. Before I met my second wife. So probably like 7 or 8 years ago, I locked my keys in the car. And I had them come out and pop the lock. Dude, I think it was only like $50 or something. They charged her $120 to pop the lock and get her keys out. $120. So she's off tomorrow, and I'm like, dude, you know what you're doing tomorrow? I said, you got to pay for this. Which, it's our money in general, but she was paying from her account. I was like, are you paying for this shit? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Because no offense, it was your fuck up. I said, I'll go in tonight, work overtime. That's some extra money in the bank account. I said, so you're off Saturday. Saturday, use my card from what I made working overtime. I want you to get a copy of your car key. and I want it put on my keys. That way, next time this happens, we're not paying $120 just to pop a lock, because it's fucking ridiculous. I ain't gonna lie, dude, I almost want to just order the equipment online, because I seen how he did it. You just put the thing in, pump it up, it cracks the door open, you stick in this thing, pull it out. But, so yeah, man, I ended up needing to work yesterday, but I didn't want to. But I got some extra hours in, some extra money in. And with every bad news, there's always good news. Like, I ended up getting a raise for 45 cents. It ain't much, but it's something. And she ended up getting offered a position to be a store manager. And it'll be closer to the house, so she'll be saving money on gas. And she'll be making like 19-20 bucks an hour. So she's the breadwinner. I was catching up as far as, like, I used to be the breadwinner, but then she kind of passed me up, and then I was catching up, and then now she's the breadwinner again. So, not that I care, you know, I'm not like a chauvinist or anything. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I just call myself a sugar baby because she's like a year older and she makes more money, so I'm a sugar baby. But yeah, so we got two good news. I got a raise and she got promoted basically the same day that all this stupid shit was going on. But that was my 13th. How was you all's 13th, man? So I don't do this often, but every now and then I see something in a paper that's worth buying and reporting on. And I had to get this one. So I don't know how well you could see it. That's not it. That's not it. There it is. That's what we're going to get into today. And this is the Lexington Herald. Not sure how biased it is. I mean, we already know as conspiracy theorists that most of these companies, even the small ones, are bought out and owned. But to me, it seemed like a small win, and I wanted to report on it. So get your cup of coffee ready. We're going to have coffee and newspaper today. A jury in Delaware convicted Hunter Biden, the president's son, of illegally buying and owning a gun while he was addicted to crack cocaine. Now, apparently that's illegal in Delaware to be on drugs and owning a firearm. And I really don't know how I feel about this one, because as someone who uses drugs recreationally every now and then, and by drugs I mean like marijuana, you know, which there's a whole argument behind that of like, is it illegal? Should it be illegal? Me personally, I'm a classic liberal. I'm an old school liberal. I'm pro marijuana. I really don't smoke it that much. I smoke it maybe like 5 times a year. And that honestly gets into the way, because the way it affects me mentally. It technically is a hallucinogenic, and it has hallucinogenic properties. And I already know there's going to be people who argue with me in the comment section like this is already proven that it's a hallucinogen. But it's a very low on the scale of hallucinogens. And to me, I definitely believe it's a hallucinogen, because I treat it like mushrooms. Like, I have to be in a safe environment, a cozy environment, somewhere where I feel comfortable. Oh, God. Thank you. Shut up. But I also believe, too, though, like, this is just me personally, but I have to be in the right headspace before I even smoke. Like, if I'm already paranoid that day, it's just going to amplify that. If I'm already depressed that day, it's just going to amplify that. I'm just going to end up in a corner crying and fucking just mentally not there. It's gonna make it worse. So that's just me. I don't know if it affects you guys the same way, but I'm just being honest. So the guilty verdict handed down Tuesday after about 3 hours of deliberations capped a week-long trial in which prosecutors elicited testimony from Biden's ex-wife and ex-girlfriend and his sister-in-law turned lover, who all spoke in graphic detail about his addiction to drugs and alcohol, with First Lady Jill Biden often sitting in the front row. First of all, I'm just being straight up, dude. Like, this is the most dysfunctional fucking first family we've like had in presidency. The only one that I can think that's more just feels icky, like, and I don't know how you guys feel, like, I'm not playing red team versus blue over here. Like, I voted for Trump. I'm not voting for him again. I'm voting actually RFK this next time run around. But dude, literally when I see Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, I feel dirty. If you watched my last podcast, you know how I feel about energies. And the energy that I get off of them is like a dirty, gross feeling energy of like Chomo type vibes from the whole fucking family, as far as like, I can't say the whole family, but like as far as the father and the son, I get Chomo vibes. If you don't know what a Chomo is, go look up prison slang. Just dirty, dude. And the sister-in-law thing was like Beau Biden. They're talking about Beau Biden. When Beau Biden died, Hunter snuck in and crept up on his wife and got with Beau Biden's wife after Beau Biden died. Like, and you can get into conspiracies and shit. Was that some Illuminati sacrifice? I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. It's too much speculating. You know here that I try to be a realist. I try to use Occam's razor. It's a lot of hearsay and not enough evidence. I don't know. Was it an Illuminati sacrifice? I don't know. Who the fuck knows, dude? But that shows you the morals of these people. Like, how disgusting is it that your brother dies and you creep in on his wife? Like, I love my brothers, you know? I love all my brothers. Even my brother Brandon, who, if I'm gonna be quite frankly honest, he's a fucking idiot. He's always been an idiot. But I still love him. And I would never just creep in on his wife. Or my oldest brother. I wouldn't creep in on his wife either, man. Like, I don't know, that's just like, to me, it's like sacred shit, man. That, and how disgusting is it, dude? Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Because, like I said, this channel is like not like kid friendly or whatever, and I'm trying to keep it down, but I don't know, I was always inspired by like Dr. Drew Loveline and Howard Stern. So like when I started this podcast, I told my wife, like, this is completely uncensored. Like, there are going to be times when there's cussing and there's disgusting subject matter, but how can you get with your brother's wife? Like, because I don't know about you guys, man, but like, I like eating pussy and butt and shit. Like, I can't imagine like kissing a woman who my brother has been making out with. Does that make sense? Like, that, to me, that's just gross. Like, when I hear about like brothers gangbanging a girl, kind of like the Kennedys, like RFK and JFK when they were gangbanging Marilyn Monroe, allegedly, which we all know they were, allegedly. That shit to me is gross. Like, can you imagine making out with a chick and your brother made out with her like 5 minutes before? Or like eating her pussy and your brother's dick was in there like 5 minutes before? Like, fucking disgusting, bro. That shit makes me gag. It's almost like sucking your brother's dick or making out with your brother, especially if they came in there, dude. Like, ugh, that's even worse, dude. But we're all adults here. But yeah, so automatically gross. No date for a sentencing hearing was set. He could face up to 25 years in prison, according to New York Times reports, but first-time offenders who did not use their weapons to commit a violent crime typically receive no jail time. Here's my theory. Let's get into that. I think he's going to get off with a slap on the wrist. He's a Biden, for one. He's the president's son. Let's get back to that in just a second. I just remembered something. You know he's not. This is like pro wrestling. He's just... Do I consider it a small win? Yeah. I celebrate the smallest of things. Because to me it makes me happy. And we don't really have much light in these dark times. So like little wins like this we should celebrate. You know, pop open the champagne. Have a cigar. You're going to go far. You know. Enjoy the small wins that we get. Because we need to. Also, too, do you think that this is a small win that he's found guilty on these charges because of Trump? Do you think because Trump was found guilty on those 34 charges, do you think that they're throwing a dog a bone? That the elites, the Illuminati, whatever phrase you use to them, the lizard people, whatever you want to call them, do you think that they're throwing a bone to us truthers and conspiracy theorists going, okay, we got Trump, let's throw a bone and let's get Biden to satiate? Would that be the word? To satiate y'all? To put you all at ease, to satisfy you all for a little while? Like, look, we got your guy, but we also got... You guys got our guy, you know. Even Stevens. Keep you all docile and satisfied. It's just a theory. Is that what they're doing? But yeah, do I think he's going to see the full 25 years maximum? No. They usually don't do that. Not for first-time offenders. Especially where he's the president's son. I mean, a judge technically could slam down the hammer and give him maximum 25 years, but they can appeal it. They can fight it. I doubt it's going to happen. So don't get your hopes up and don't get excited and be like, Hunter Biden's going to go to prison for 25 years. He's just not. If he does, then that is fucking remarkable. Wouldn't be the first time I was wrong, but don't get your hopes up. Let's see. But first-time offenders who did not use their weapons to commit a violent crime, typically receive no jail time. So he's probably not even going to go to prison. Coming in an election year, the verdict was sure to be seized on by political opponents of his father, President Joe Biden, and to be spun as a victory for Republican leaders who last year criticized a plea deal for Hunter Biden on similar charges. The deal unraveled under questioning by U.S. District Judge Mary Ellen Noreika, the same judge who presided over the trial. She paved... Give me just a second so I can flip to the page. (6A) White noise. Paved way for the indictment on the gun charges. A second criminal trial for Hunter Biden is scheduled for September. In Los Angeles. Okay, well, let's talk about that last paragraph because I do think that's important. Will it be used against Joseph Biden during his next presidential run? I don't think they can use it. Because do you all remember when Joe Biden was running for president against Trump this last election? There was molestation charges that were brought up against Joe Biden. I don't know if they were charges, but there was some woman who said that she was molested by Joe Biden. And I'm going to take it off the rails a little bit, but I did not expect, with that going on, if you guys remember, think back as far as you can to when all that shit got brought up. There was a woman saying that Joe Biden molested her, allegedly. And I was like, oh, he's ruined. There's no way he's going to get presidency with these accusations against him. Nothing ever happened. Also, I thought because he was already senile when he was running for president, I didn't think he was going to get in. I was even saying on this channel, there's no fucking way he's going to get in, dude. There's no fucking way he's going to get in. He got in. Now that gets into a whole subject of, was it stolen? Which I truly believe it was. I don't think that this whole Hunter Biden shit is going to affect the election. I don't think that it's a nail in the coffin. And I'll say this, the majority of people, and I'm not talking you guys listening or watching this video, so don't get offended, I'm not talking about you. Most people are fucking retarded. They will forget this by the time, it's June now, they will forget this by the time September or November rolls around, election time. They're going to forget about all of this shit. People's attention spans are retarded. I have people who literally comment in my comment section going, why is your video so long? Get to the point. And I'm like, you realize that the name of my channel is Conspiracy Corner Podcast, right? You know this is a podcast. Yeah. So you should have known watching the video that this is a podcast. So I'm going to podcast, meaning it's going to at least be 30 minutes long. So if you ain't got time to listen to a podcast, don't click on a podcast and listen to a podcast. That makes you retarded. Not me, you. If I wanted to make short form content, I would make short form content. I don't. I want to make podcasts. So tune in, sit down, shut up, and enjoy the long form podcast. That's my thoughts on that. Second criminal trial for Hunter Biden is scheduled for September. So he has another trial that's going to be happening that has nothing to do with these gun charges and shit. So something totally separate. In Los Angeles, where the Malibu resident faces federal charges on tax evasion and failing to pay his taxes on time. Tax evasion. This one blows my fucking mind. You are a millionaire. You got dealings in Ukraine, allegedly. Your father is the president of the United States of America. This dude's a fucking millionaire. Why are you evading taxes? I don't understand it. And this happens all the fucking time. What did they get? O.J. Simpson for tax evasion? Why are all these rich people getting caught and getting in trouble for tax evasion when you have millions of dollars? I don't understand. Like, if I'm not saying I would ever evade taxes, I've always paid my taxes, but like, if you're poor as fuck, I could understand you evading taxes because you have no fucking money. I get it. But why the fuck are all these millionaires and shit, people who are rich, evading taxes? I do not understand. I'll never understand. I never understood that one. That, to me, is just greed. That is literal greed at that point. In Delaware, Hunter Biden was on trial on 3 felony charges. Lying on a federal background check form about his crack habit in order to buy a Colt revolver, giving a false statement to a federal firearms dealer, and possessing a gun while being an illicit drug user. The jury convicted him on all 3 counts. So this is where I kind of, I don't know how I feel about it. Because at the end of the day, I'm a constitutionalist. And it says that the Second Amendment, it will not be infringed upon. Where does that fall into as far as owning and carrying a gun? Y'all have fun with that, arguing in the comment sections about it, because I kind of... Let's take alcohol. Here in Kentucky, like, as far as I know, from what I heard, I'm not a gun owner, but I've heard that you cannot open carry a firearm while under the influence of alcohol. So me and my wife the other day were watching DUI videos, and a lot of people don't know there's this thing called an OWI or DWI. You can get a DWI or OWI just from being under the influence of alcohol. Even if you're under the limit of 0.08, you can get in trouble for OWI or DWI and get arrested. We didn't really know that. So that means that you can go to a restaurant, have 1 glass of wine with dinner, be under the limit, and still get arrested. So no matter what, if there is any form of alcohol in your system, you can get arrested for operating a motor vehicle. Which I would imagine would be the same for gun laws, as far as carrying a gun. I think personally they wanted to drop it down from 0.08 to 0.05. Here in Kentucky, they had a bill that they were trying to pass to drop it down to 0.05. And I'm like, that's too fucking low. And people go, well, you shouldn't be drinking and driving. Okay. That means, though, that you could literally drink the night before, get up for work the next morning, have a couple cups of coffee, take your morning shit, read the newspaper, whatever, get pulled over and breathalyzed on your way to work because your blinker's out, and still get a OWI or DWI. Even though you are not drunk, it can still be on your fucking breath, dude. So to me, it gets down to, like, the breathalyzer level is way too low, in my personal opinion. And this is coming from someone who's, in Alcoholics Anonymous, and I don't see alcohol as a good thing, but I do see it fucked up that 1 glass of wine at dinner and you can get arrested. Like, no. So I imagine it would be the same for gun laws. I don't know the stipulations on all that. Hit me up in the comments. Maybe educate me. I don't know how I feel about that. Another thing too, like a drug test. Like, you're not supposed to be a drug user while owning a firearm. So what about marijuana? Is it legal in Delaware? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I'll research it, on my free time. But if it's not legal in Delaware, can you not own a gun if you smoke a joint every now and then? Because a joint, I would imagine, stays in your system for like a month. 1 joint, I would think. Let's say you take 5 hits in one night. I would imagine that would probably stay in your system like 2 weeks to a month. So are you an illegal gun owner because you smoked a doobie at a barbecue with your friends? Like, you're getting into real sketchy shit, infringing on the Second Amendment, in my opinion. So on this particular thing, I kind of side with Hunter Biden on that one, let's see. Where are we at? So, the case largely centered on how Biden answered a question on the background check form on October 12th, 2018, which asked, "Are you an unlawful user of or addicted to marijuana?" So there we go. We answered my question. Marijuana or any depressant. Depressants, technically, if you want to get technical, alcohol is a depressant. It's a legal depressant, but it's a depressant. So do you use alcohol? Or are you addicted to alcohol? A stimulant, here's another one. If you really want to get down to the nitty-gritty of it, caffeine is a stimulant. So do you fucking chug pots of coffee? Like, what are we talking about here? How deep are we going with this? You know, and you could be saying, Abe, you're getting too technical, but it's like, when it comes to the law, I think we should be pretty technical and pretty precise and very precise on what are we talking about here, dude. Narcotic drug, or any other controlled substance. Interesting. So alcohol, is that a controlled substance because is it controlled by the government? Is that what they're talking about? Legal? Hunter checked no. Defense attorney Abe Lowell emphasized the limited evidence of Biden's drug use around the time he purchased the revolver. That the gun salesman did not perceive him to be under the influence or he didn't look glassy-eyed, and that no witnesses saw him using drugs in the days after when he owned the gun. Lowell contended that the gun was never fired and remained locked up until Hunter's brother's widow, Haley Biden, found it on the morning of October 23, 2018. And in panic, she disposed of it in a trash bin outside a nearby grocery store, which, by the way, they won't mention it in this article because I did read this article last night. It was also near a school, like an elementary school. So, they won't mention it, but I will. Nearby a grocery store, Hunter, who was dating Haley at the time, urged her to retrieve the gun once he discovered it missing, asking her, "Are you insane?" But when Haley Biden returned to the supermarket, the gun was gone. That's good. So a hobo got it, a kid got it. Where is that gun? Psychopath got it? A schizophrenic got it? Someone who's mentally ill like me picked it up, got it? Come on, dude. And Hunter instructed her to contact the police. "It's time to end this case," Lowell said Monday in his closing argument. But prosecutors told jurors that there was overwhelming evidence of Hunter Biden's drug use in the years before and the months after the gun purchase. If this evidence did not establish that Hunter Biden is a crack addict and an unlawful user, then no one is a crack addict and an unlawful user, said Assistant Special Counsel Derek Hines in his closing argument. Let me check the time. Okay, we got time. Hunter's ex-wife, Kathleen Buell, testified that she found a crack pipe in 2015 at their home and would regularly search his car for drug paraphernalia. Zoe Keston, a former girlfriend, told jurors about the night she met Hunter in a Manhattan gentlemen's club. That's always classy. Where, I love how they call it gentlemen's club too. Like, they try to make it sound classy. Like, dude, it's fucking smut. I've never been to a strip club, I ain't gonna lie. I would like to go just to mark it off the bucket list, though. Within minutes of going to a private room with him in 2018, she recalled he began smoking crack. That night kicked off a bi-coastal relationship where the pair holed up in a string of luxury hotels to the Soho Grand. the Mercer, the Four Seasons in Manhattan, and Chateau Marmont. Damn, son. Spending that Ukraine money. And the Roosevelt in Hollywood, where he abused crack every 20 minutes. Smoked crack every 20 minutes. Like, damn, dude, that's pretty fucking heavy. Even when I was my worst in alcoholism, I think I took a shot like once an hour. You were smoking crack every 20 minutes. That's insane. And summoned dealers to feed his habit, Keston testified. Haley Biden's turn on the witness stand may have proven the most critical. Prosecutors highlighted that the response to her phone calls and text messages asking him where he was in mid-October 2018, 2 days after buying the gun, Hunter replied that he was smoking crack in downtown Wilmington. So he admitted that he was smoking crack 2 days after buying the gun. Proven guilty. Right there. You broke the law. Whether I agree with the law or not, whatever, you just admitted to breaking the law and smoking crack 2 days after buying a firearm. In Delaware, you're not supposed to have a firearm while under the influence or being addicted to a substance. You just admitted to the crime. There you go. No more argument. Haley Biden testified that she saw Hunter Biden either late in the night or early in the morning on October 23rd, 2018, and that he looked exhausted. Inside his truck, she said she discovered drug paraphernalia and remnants of crack cocaine. Parmesan cheese, baby. Dude was at Pizza Hut, man. Along with the gun. She put the gun inside a leather pouch that she said she found in his vehicle, the same pouch that federal investigators tested last year, finding trace amounts of cocaine. There was a movie made called My Son Hunter, I think. I need to watch it. I ain't gonna lie. Whether you like Hunter Biden or you hate Hunter Biden, it looks like a good fucking movie. I ain't gonna lie, it looks like kind of like Blow or Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's basically his escapades. Hunter Biden's the main character, and it's his escapades as a crackhead. It looks like an awesome fucking movie. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments if you guys want me to watch it and review it for this channel. Because I ain't gonna lie, I don't like Hunter Biden, I don't like the Bidens at all, but it looks like a good fucking movie. Go check the trailer out. It's called My Son Hunter, I believe. Makes me wonder if he was named after Hunter S. Thompson. That would be interesting. I ain't got much else to say. I hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole situation. Are you guys going to take it as a small win? Or are you guys going to say this is a distraction, a psyop? Are you guys going to say, Abe, why are you focusing on shit like that? Because it's entertaining. It's content. I like conspiracy theories and shit, and I like true crime too, and this falls into both, in my opinion. So, please like, share, and subscribe, and you all have a good day.